Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to start mudding in the breezeway project. I got to go around with my knife and test all these screw holes. Some of them have a little bit of crumbly stuff around the edges and that'll knock them off. But more important than that, some, like this one, are a little proud of the surface and I gotta drive that beneath the surface a little bit. But before I do that, I gotta get this place cleaned up once again. It's still pretty clean from taping the ceiling, but what I gotta do is move stuff into the middle of the room so I can get around the edges. I believe I'm going to take this lumber out of here. I'm going to get whatever I can out of here. The sawhorses, anything that can get out of here is going to go out. That shelf is going to get moved into the middle. Then I'll have free access to the walls and I'll be able to move as fast as I can move doing this stuff. It's not my favorite thing to do, and I'm probably not the best at it, but here we go. Okay, I have all of the screw holes cleaned up and any of the screws that were proud of the surface set back. I wrapped up this cord and these two here so they'll be out of the way. And while we're here, should mention some stuff about this wall. This wall is going to be completely covered by a built-in cabinet here and here. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with the back of the cabinet. So I'm going to fill all of the screw holes and tape these main joints here, but I am not going to do the corners. When you mud the corners, it basically kind of rounds the corner, and I'm going to want to get a wood piece in here nice and square. So that'll be covered, but it'll be covered by the frame of the cabinet at a later date. And then the other cabinet member is going to go right about in here. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do for the back of the cabinet. I may just leave it the wall like this, and I may put a back in the cabinet. I probably won't put a back in the cabinet. I'll probably paint the wall and then build the cabinet over the wall. So these will not be getting the corners done, but they will be getting the rest of the stuff done. And none of it will be getting the upper corner done. That's just gonna get caulked, and then when I put the ceiling in, the ceiling will cover that up. Okay, yeah, I haven't done this in a good while, but basically, all I'm going to do is get the seams nice and filled, then you smooth them out, then you roll your tape on, then you embed your tape, push it in there nice and good, and get the excess that's squeezed out, get that off, and then you go back. Where's my knife? You go back with your knife and you push tight on this outside edge, and you have the inside kind of floating, and you scrape it really nice and tight against the wall, and you leave a little bit on the tape. If you end up with dry tape, you're going to end up with bulges and really nasty stuff, and you don't want that. And again, I am not a professional drywaller, and I actually hate doing this stuff, but I've done it a lot of times, sometimes successful, sometimes less than successful. That's hard to say. Sometimes less than successful. The biggest key to success is to get as much of the drywall off so you don't have to sand that much, but don't get so much off. Like if you rub the paper dry, it is definitely going to bulge and blister and stuff. So you got to leave some on, but take off, like when you're doing the screw holes, you do it in two directions. You wipe that way and then that way, and don't leave any little dots of stuff on there. That you can come back and scrape off a little bit later, but try not to leave any little bulges or dots of joint compound on the wall. Having said that, it's a lot harder to do than it is to say, so let's get at it and see how well I do. Okay, while I was mudding, the camera ran out of battery, so I just kept going. I know it was, oh, maybe it was over there. I know I didn't get the corner in there, but really doesn't matter. So when I got done with that corner, I went and had lunch. Now I'm going to start out, get this corner done. You have to remember that this bottom part gets completely covered with molding. So after I get this scraped and a little bit of sanding, I'm going to run the block-it tape on that seam down there. So I'm going to cut like this loose paper off like this a little bit later. I don't know if that's the best way to do it or not, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to jump onto this corner here, and then these side walls, the entire top part can be done standing on the ladder with a nice little platform in front of me, and the entire bottom part I can sit on my little roly-poly thing here. So these side walls should be fairly easy. And then we get to this, which is going to be the hardest of all, of course, especially like this seam right here. Yeah, that's going to be a bloody mess, but we'll get through it. Okay, let's get going on that corner. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for today. I think I did a fairly good job for something that I really don't like to do and rarely do, but I think it looks okay. The biggest problem is if you do a sloppy job on this first coat, then you pay for it with sanding and scraping and all that stuff before the next coat. This gets 3 coats overall. Each coat after the first coat takes less time and is much thinner than this coat. The first coat is the hardest by far. So about half done. This is a bit smaller in this area, but it includes both the top parts, so probably take about the same amount of time. I started work at 11 and it's about 5, so not quite 6 hours. I had a lunch in there, so we'll call it 5.5 hours. Pretty slow by drywalling standards, but for me, I'm glad I got this much done. So the next time I am going to start on that back wall and then work my way back this way, kind of like I did on these. And then after that, it's the ceiling. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.